Good morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here. Hey, thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. I think we got the snow handled for you. And I do have to say, the European and me, well, it hasn't happened yet, so we don't know. It can still be wrong, but it's been pretty spot on and consistency, I guess I would say. And I'm going to call it a 1 to 4 inch snow across southern third of Michigan, with 2 and 3 inches being pretty common. And all week long, I've been talking about 2 to 4 inches. So let's get on to it. And if you could, I would appreciate it. Hit the share button, however you do it. I don't really know on the, because I don't get to see the Facebook feed live. But if you could, hit the share button. Would appreciate it very much. Cynthia Staudenberg, good morning to you. Kimberly Zeismer, good morning. And Arlene Mazik, thanks for checking in. All right, so if you're driving south today, this is all rain. Pamela Todoroff leaving tomorrow. Okay, well, we'll get into the storm. This is all rain, so if you're traveling south today, you'll be running through a whole bunch of rain. All right, so here's the big picture. And get it so you can see everything. There we go. All right, so here's the big picture. Again, the European model, and you'll see how the U.S. model, called the GFS, came around to it. Hey, thank you very much, Vern Fondren, for sharing, and Pamela Todoroff, thanks for sharing. So today, we'll be dry across Michigan. Good travel conditions. Here's the storm system. And right there, that's Friday, 7 p.m. I'll show you it a little closer. And it's a touch slower by about 3 hours in exiting, which means we get another 3 hours of some precipitation after dark. And that means it means we don't get more snow than anticipated, but we have a better chance of it. Hey, good morning, Sarah Maltman and Ann Siegel and Daniel Van Zalen. If it was Van Halen, you'd be really my friend. Saturday, dry. And then Saturday night and Sunday morning, a small area of light snow will roll through. Into next week, that storm system pulling up to the west, still expected, everything showing that, gets us into slightly warmer air. It gets us into the southeasterly flow, which is mild but not real warm. And then here comes the frontal system. And then here's where we turn more wintry. Then you can see the cold air kind of collapses across the eastern part of the U.S. next Thursday and Friday. That right there, that's a wintry eastern half of the country as the cold front makes it down into Florida, and the cold air makes it down into northern central Florida, but doesn't have staying power. As we get out to 10 days, it almost seems like it already wants to let up on us. Okay, so here's kind of more detailed look at the European and what it expects, and it's very similar to what we've seen. 7 in the morning on Friday, 1 in the afternoon. Snow starting in the far southwest corner Friday afternoon. Hey, Connie McNash, share that live feed with your friends in Rochester Hills, please. And then this is 7 p.m. Friday. And it looks very similar to what it has the past few days, although maybe just a touch snowier. More snowy? Not sure which it is. Good morning, Kingsley checking in. Now, this is Saturday, 1 a.m. So yesterday's runs and the days before already had the snow winding down. It's winding down and it's gone by 7 a.m. But it just says that it hangs into the darkness a little more, and that gives the Detroit area, Flint, southern part of the Thumb, even Saginaw, a chance at a small accumulation. And then this is Saturday night, Sunday morning, another batch of some light snow for about 6 hours, off to the east. And then next week, as that system approaches in the southern part of lower Michigan, it's mostly rain until we get that backside cold. And that's Friday, December 16th. And that's snow showers and windy and cold and winter. So, I don't really see anything super bizarre in this weather forecast, dramatic, but it's certainly a step downward into more winter. Coffee drinker now, by the way. You know what I have to try, and everybody keeps telling me about it, is Black Rifle coffee. It's supposed to be very good. Has anybody tried that? Or do you have any other recommendations for a 1-year-old coffee drinker? That's me. About 1 year, I think. Okay, now I've been showing you the US model and saying, meh, it eventually comes around, and it has. Look at what it looks like today. This is Friday morning, 7 a.m. Then this would be 10 a.m. This would be 1 p.m. Hey, doesn't that look very similar to the European? And this is 5 p.m. So, at 5 o'clock on Friday, you could have some snowy, slick travels, Grand Rapids area, Lansing, Jackson, maybe. Sarah Maltman, I'll let you off the hook. I think the Grand Rapids area is probably about, I would call it 2 to 4 inches, and probably 3 inches. Death Wish Coffee, says Teresa Johnson. That doesn't sound great, but I don't know why the Death Wish. All right, Michelle gets Black Rifle delivered every 2 weeks. What's so great about it? So far I've been like, coffee is coffee. My sister took me to Starbucks. Whoops, sorry, lost it here. Just a second. My sister took me to a Starbucks for the first time, and I had a coffee, and it tasted just like everything else, only it cost a lot. So I don't know if I found anything that I just go, huh, interesting. All right, so U.S. model, I guess the point here is the U.S. model coming along to the European that has not wavered all on this storm system from out when it was off the California coast. How much snowfall? This is through the end of it by Saturday morning. This is why I'm calling it a 2 to 4 inch snow. Probably Muskegon, South Haven, Benton Harbor, St. Joe, Grand Rapids area, Battle Creek, Kalamazoo, Ann Arbor, probably 2 or 3 inches of steam at that point, maybe 1 or 2 inches. And you go north to Flint, 1 or 2 inches. You go north to Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, probably an inch or less. You go north into Traverse City and Alpena and Houghton Lake, and less than an inch. All right, temperatures today in the 40s again. I'm sorry, no, not in the 40s. Hold on a second here. I gotta hit my update button. There we go. In the upper 30s to near 40 in the southern part of the state. 39 Grand Rapids, 37 Saginaw, 40 Ann Arbor and Detroit and Kalamazoo. Friday, 35-ish Lansing, 34-ish Grand Rapids. That's why it's a little easier to accumulate. And then Saturday, 36 to 39 for most places. A Sunday in the upper 30s to near 40. Monday, upper 30s, southern half. Tuesday, upper 30s. Wednesday, upper 30s to low 40s in the southwest. Thursday in the 30s and 40s. And then the colder air collapses. Friday highs in the 25 to 30 range, and Saturday highs in the upper 20s. So we are definitely turning more wintry. What else do I have in here? Oh, hey, I want to show you the U.S. model for snowfall accumulations. Remember, it had nothing the last several days, and I would almost trust it on snowfall accumulation more than the European at this point. And it's showing 2 or 3 inches of very common, and running out of gas as it heads toward Detroit and Ann Arbor, 1 to 2 inches. So there's certainly not a big snowstorm, but something I've been highlighting, just tracking the next storm system for you. And you got to admit, I think I started talking about it on Monday. It's Thursday. We're going to have it on Friday. So you're talking 5 days ahead in advance. You're talking start time has changed almost zero, really. We've always been talking about Friday afternoon into Friday evening. How much would linger into the darkness would make the difference on the amount of snowfall. And it's extended into the darkness about 3 hours over the last 4 days. And snowfall amounts, now remember, you need me. Snowfall amounts on the model, there were areas of 6 to 7 inches. I thought, it looks a little bit heavy to me. Models do that out into the long range. They kind of over predict. So I saw this in my experience as a 2 to 4 inch snow. Looks like it's going to be that in the heaviest band. It's not going to be a wide area, but the southern third of the state, where I-94 is and where I-69 is and I-96, all those good roads, that's where you get the 2 to 4 inches of snow. Hey, there's your weather update. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa.